Detecting lies is an age-old pursuit, and while there's no foolproof method to uncover deceit, psychology offers a range of subtle tricks and cues that can help you identify when someone might be lying. These psychological strategies tap into human behavior and nonverbal communication, revealing telltale signs that someone might be bending the truth. Today, we'll delve into the fascinating world of psychological tricks to uncover if someone is lying, offering you tools to navigate the complex landscape of human interaction with greater awareness and confidence. One of the most reliable indicators of deception lies in a person's body language. Our bodies often betray our true feelings, even when we're trying to control what we say. When someone is lying, they may exhibit a range of nonverbal cues that suggest discomfort or anxiety. For instance, they might avoid eye contact, fidget with objects, or shift their body position frequently. While some people naturally avoid eye contact or fidget due to nervousness, sudden changes in behavior when certain topics are brought up can be a red flag. A classic psychological trick to detect lying is to pay attention to microexpressions, those fleeting, involuntary facial expressions that last only a fraction of a second. These microexpressions can reveal a person's true emotions, even if they're trying to conceal them. For example, if someone says they're happy but flashes a brief expression of fear or sadness, it could indicate that they're not being entirely truthful. Training yourself to recognize these subtle cues can be a powerful tool in discerning deception. Speech patterns can also provide valuable insights into whether someone is lying. When people lie, they often experience increased cognitive load as they work to maintain their story, which can lead to changes in their speech. Listen for hesitations, long pauses, or an unusual amount of detail in their explanations. Liars might also repeat questions before answering or provide indirect responses to avoid giving a direct lie. These verbal cues can signal that the person is trying to buy time or carefully craft their response, suggesting that they might not be telling the truth. Inconsistencies in a person's story are another strong indicator of deception. When someone lies, it can be difficult to keep track of all the details, leading to contradictions or discrepancies in their narrative. A psychological trick to catch these inconsistencies is to ask the person to recount their story in reverse order or to revisit certain details multiple times. If they struggle to keep the story straight or become defensive, it could be a sign that they're fabricating information. Another psychological cue to watch for is the use of distancing language. When people lie, they might subconsciously distance themselves from the lie by using less personal or less direct language. For example, instead of saying, "I didn't do it," they might say, "It wasn't done by me." This subtle shift in language can indicate that the person is trying to detach themselves from the lie, making it a useful clue in detecting deception. Liars often exhibit what is known as duping delight, a sense of pleasure or satisfaction when they believe they've successfully deceived someone. This can manifest as a smirk, a brief smile, or a slight glint in their eyes. While this cue is subtle, it can be a revealing indicator that someone is taking pleasure in their deception, which can help you identify when someone is lying. Stress-induced behaviors are another key aspect to consider when trying to determine if someone is lying. Lying can be stressful, especially if the person fears getting caught. This stress can lead to physical manifestations such as sweating, blushing, or a dry mouth, which might cause them to lick their lips or swallow more frequently. Additionally, their voice might become higher pitched, or they might start speaking more quickly or slowly than usual. These physiological responses to stress can provide important clues that someone is not being truthful. A psychological trick that can be particularly effective in detecting lies is to observe the person's baseline behavior. Before diving into potentially deceptive topics, engage the individual in casual conversation about neutral subjects. This allows you to observe their normal behavior, speech patterns, and body language. Once you've established a baseline, you can compare their behavior when discussing more sensitive or incriminating topics. Any significant deviations from their baseline behavior could indicate that they're lying. People who are lying might also overcompensate in their efforts to appear truthful. They may provide too much information, offer overly elaborate explanations, or insist on their honesty repeatedly. This tendency to over-explain or excessively assert their truthfulness can be a red flag. The reasoning behind this is that liars often feel the need to convince you of their honesty, leading them to go above and beyond what would be considered normal behavior. Another tactic is to ask unexpected or probing questions. When someone is lying, they often prepare their story in advance and may only focus on the most obvious questions. By asking something they didn't anticipate, you can catch them off guard, leading to inconsistencies or delayed responses. For example, if someone claims they were at a certain location, you might ask about specific details related to the environment or events that took place there. If they're lying, they might struggle to provide accurate answers. Lastly, observe the person's reactions to being accused or confronted. If you gently suggest that something doesn't add up or express doubt about their story, a truthful person is likely to be surprised or confused and will often provide additional information to clarify the situation. In contrast, a liar may become defensive, hostile, or overly insistent on their innocence. Their reaction to being challenged can provide valuable insight into whether they're being truthful. In conclusion, while no single sign is a definitive indicator of lying, a combination of these psychological tricks can significantly increase your ability to detect deception. By paying attention to body language, speech patterns, inconsistencies, distancing language, and stress-induced behaviors, you can better navigate the complexities of human interaction and protect yourself from being misled. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of psychological tricks to detect lies. If you found this topic insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Grow with Rezan for more content that dives deep into the intricacies of human behavior. Until next time, stay observant and remember that the truth often lies beneath the surface.